Can I start now? Yeah. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Anjum Quresh, and I'm here to speak on a topic, essential life skills for students. Before starting with the session, let me introduce myself. I am working as assistant professor at Departments of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering Research and Technology, Chandrapur. I am also a life coach certified career counselor, meditation trainer, and a freelance trainer also. Firstly, I would like to thank International Internship University for this wonderful opportunity of sharing my knowledge with the entire world. So starting with the session, yes, because the IIU has given the opportunity. So let me talk in short about IIU. International Internship University is a leading virtual education system and global brand configuration, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wing in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit Sir, a committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. So, as per my today's topic, I'm going to speak on life skills. So, firstly, let's just understand what do you mean by skills? Skills are the abilities acquired through practice and patience. That is, they are the ability to use know-how to complete tasks. You gain skills in a variety of ways through school, college, work experience, hobbies, or some other interest. Whenever you gain skills, you should be able to identify, analyze, and apply your skills to perform better. An important thing is to recognize and nurture your skills to strengthen them in new contexts and seek opportunities to add new skills to your collection. Certain category of skills are there that everyone must possess, like literary skills, language skills, functional skills, vocational skills, cultural, sports, recreation, and of course, the life skills. So we are going to speak about life skills today. So life skills are the abilities to adjust to changing situations in a positive manner, which in turn helps you to face challenges in your day-to-day life. Life skills influence the way you feel about yourself and the way you perceive others. It improves your productivity, self-esteem, self-confidence, and interpersonal relationships, negotiating skills for the personal as well as for the social interest. It can also help you deal with the demands and the challenges of that are occurring in everyday life by developing your abilities. So, talking about the core skills, the life skills, they are divided into 3 categories. The 3 main classifications are social skills, thinking skills, and the emotional skills. The social skills will consist of self-awareness, effective communication, interpersonal relationships, and empathy, whereas the thinking skills will consist of creative thinking, uh, critical thinking, decision making, and problem solving skills. And the emotional skills consist of coping with emotions and coping with stress. So let's look at the skills one by one. So, yeah, before starting with the skills, let's just understand why life skills are important. Because we use life skills all the time at different situations. Well, these skills, it can be learned and it can be improved throughout our life. And these life skills are used in combination. It is not like we can be using one life skill at a time, but these skills are used in combination with dealing with certain situations. Rehearsing and the use of life skills in simple situations will make it easier to utilize them in a complex situation. So, coming to the first one, that is the self-awareness skill. It is our ability to know ourselves, our character, desires, likes, dislikes, and our strengths and weakness, keeping in our mind our physical, mental, emotional, social, and sexual aspects. It makes us aware of our strengths and weakness and help them and building our self-esteem as well as also the self-confidence. When you know about yourself, it is very important because it will help to develop a positive attitude towards life. It will help to make decisions. It will help to prioritize your work and reason out the actions as well as the reaction. So here, I would like for most of the people, like those who want to know about self-awareness. So this is a small activity that can be taken. Like just take a chart and you can write. You can tell the students to write three things about yourself. Like you may be disliking something about yourself. You may like something about yourself. You may thinking you must be having some qualities or good qualities, bad qualities. Just tell them to write. The other step that can be done is in this. You can go to your parents, friends, ask them about their opinions, like what do they think about you, what good qualities or the bad qualities that you have. Then make a list of the qualities that you think you have and what the people think about you, and just compare. So somewhere you will be able to know what are the good qualities inside you and what are the qualities that needs to be enhanced. So those qualities that needs to be enhanced, just write it on a piece of paper, stick it somewhere, the place where you can be seeing it every day. And this can help you to know who you are and why you are on this planet Earth and how special you are. So for self-awareness, you should be knowing some simple things like, firstly, no one is perfect. We all have negative as well as positive qualities and features in all of us. The people around you, they may be having different kinds of likes and dislikes. So, but you should keep in mind that you have to respect each and every person who is around you. You should be able to adapt to people and with situations. You should have good qualities that you need to be enhanced. The qualities that you need to change, like I mentioned in the earlier slide, you must be aware of them and you must try to change them into better and good quality. Coming to the next skill, empathy skill. So once you have known yourself after self-awareness, the other thing is to know others. Because empathy is the ability to be sensitive to another person's feelings. It is to be able to understand their happiness, their concerns, worries, and needs. It helps you to feel for another person, and it can work wonders when we apply it to our relationships, be with your loved ones or classmates, parents, friends, cousins, anyone. It will work wonders. And above all, the empathy skills help you to find solutions to resolve conflicts and enhance your quality life. Now, for the students, I can give an example. Like many of the times when the parents scold us, like if we come late after the school, we come late at home, the parents may scold us. So we start thinking that the parents are making a fuss and they are not able to understand your point of view. But when you start understanding what their point of view is, why they are putting restrictions on you, then you will understand, yes, they are doing it just because they're worried about you. Yes. Now coming to the third life skill, that is the critical thinking skill. It is the ability to think clearly and rationally. Because most of the times what we listen to is positive and negative thinking. But yes, not just positive and negative, we need critical thinking skills also. Because it includes the ability which will make you reflect on things and situations and think independently. And when we say critical thinking, it is not about criticizing anyone, but it is about thinking rationally. Because criticizing is a negative characteristic, and we need to be positive in our approach. We know that every side or every aspect will have two sides. Okay, to analyze both the sides without any judgment or without any prejudice is called as thinking rationally. And critically analyzing a situation can be done by having a balanced stand or an unbiased view And we should be considering all the options and try to make the best possible choice that is available to us. Yeah. Here is one more example of the critical thinking abilities. Like if there is a boy, like I just take an Indeed. If Pranav and his friends decide to go for a movie, so they decide to bunk the school and go for a movie. So the Pranav was not actually comfortable with the thought, but as his friends were forcing, he thought, okay, I can try. It will be fun. But then he used his critical thinking skills and thought that if what will happen if my parents come to know about it, or what will happen if the teachers will come to know about it, obviously they are going to be disappointed. He may get suspended from the school. So after thinking this, he says, no, I won't go to them. So this is just a very small example of critical thinking skills, but you can have many more thinking ways of thinking about it, because there are always different types of solutions that are possible for a problem. Now, the fourth one, that is creative thinking. Now, creative thinking, it is not somewhere related to being artistic, like you are able to draw, paint, or write something very beautifully. It is not just an artistic, being artistic and innovative, but it is a state of mind that could be applied to any situation. It helps you to look beyond your direct experiences and to respond to situations flexibly in your day-to-day life. It is an ability to generate new ideas by combining, changing, or replying existing ideas. Now, again, for a small example of the creative thinking. For example, a boy he wants to go for a Kulu Manali for a vacation, but his parents had decided some other place. The parents reject his appeal. So what that boy does is he asks his friends to tell his father that yeah, Kulu Manali is a very good place to visit. It is an exotic vacation location. So what the other thing he does is he just downloads some photographs of the location and shows to his father. Obviously, the father gets impressed with the place and also by the efforts put by the boy, and so he agrees to go to Kulu Manali for vacation. That is a small example of creative thinking. Now, as we have already learned about critical and creative thinking, and I have already mentioned that this skill, we can not be using only one skill at a time, because whatever we do, there are combination of these skills. So let us just understand the connection between the critical and the creative thinking. So by thinking creatively, you will be able to find solutions when it seems as if there is no way out. Critically analyzing helps you to find out what is at stake. It draws you towards wishes and motives of ourselves and others, and why we react in the way we do. And critical thinking also promotes creativity. Just generating new ideas may not work sometimes, but one needs to generate new ideas that are useful as well as relevant. And creative thinking is, or critical thinking is also required for reflection, and creative thinking helps in improving ourselves after self-reflection. Okay, the fifth skill, that is a decision-making skill, because we have to make a lot of decisions throughout the day. Whether it is like buying even a small thing like a chocolate, we need to make a decision, right? So decision-making skills, it helps to deal constructively with choices of our life, for choosing the best among the various alternatives in many life situations. The situations may not be the real problems, but you require a choice to be made every time. And the decision-making capability or the decisive capabilities enable you to weigh the pros and cons of the alternatives and make an informed decision. Now, these are some of the tips to improve decision making, because we make decisions in every step of our life. At every hour of our life, we will be making a decision. And it can be as small as buying a chocolate, or it can be also as big as choosing a career, choosing a course, or choosing a life partner also, right? So when we take decisions, we have to be assertive about them, and we should take responsibility of the consequences, which could be good or bad. We have to evaluate both of them. And while we are taking decision, you can remember the three C's. The first one is the challenge, the decision to be taken. Then the second C is choices, because for any problem, you must be having different kind of choices, different number of choices. Choice one, number two, number three, and the third is consequences. So if you keep those three C's in mind, definitely your decisive capabilities are going to improve. Then, when you make decisions, see that you are calm and composed and not anxious and under stress, as you can take better decisions when you are calm and relaxed. So it is very important to believe in yourself and also believe in your decision. Now, this is the power model of decision making. The most important and underlying part of decision making is abiding by one's decision. And our decisions should be powerful. Do you know what power means? Yes. So let's see. P stands for the problem. So first is clearly state or identify the problem. The second one is examine what are your options. W stands for weigh. That is, the third one is you have to weigh your options. Then the fourth one, that is elect and enact the best option. And the fifth one is review and reflect. So if you follow this model of decision making, you can be making very powerful decisions. Now, here's again an example, a small example for the students. Like suppose Priya shall say that her favorite singer is going to perform in this city. But she realizes that she has a physics test the next day that will help in improving her grades in the final exam. She really wants to go for the show. So what she does is she goes for the show and she thinks that she will make it up for the finals. But at last what happens? That she loses her first rank, so she got lower grades in the class. So now you can understand how important decision making is. We take a small decision or wrong decision, and sometimes we have to bear it for the lifetime. So decision making is again very important to lead a happy and successful life. The sixth skill, that is the problem solving skill. Because each one of us faces some kind of problems in our life. And the fascinating thing about the problem is that they are actually blessings in disguise. When we have problem solving skills, it helps us to deal constructively with the problems that are arising in our life. And the skill will not only empower you to control and solve problems, but you will be able to turn the problems into opportunities. Now, again, a small example of problem solving skill, because problems are never disturb us. What disturbs us is the method of handling that problem. If you are not able to handle that problem properly, so it is going to affect our whole life. Again, we are going to be sad and we are going to be in grief for days together sometimes. Like for example, my match is going on, some inter-school cricket is going on, and one of the fielder teases the batsman. So obviously this annoys the batsman and he starts beating the fielder. Now, what does the captain of the other people are just watching it, like what is happening? But what the captain does, he goes there and he tries to rescue both of them. He separates both the players, asks them to stop what they're doing, and then he calls the umpire for the necessary action. So this is a problem solving skill. Well, what the rest of them were doing? They were just they were just standing and looking at what is happening now. So the way we solve the problems, we are able to solve the problems in our daily life. So this is actually a way of changing the problems into opportunities and leading a very good life. Now, sometimes the people think that problem solving is not possible. Yes, every problem in this world has a solution. Sometimes it may happen that you cannot resolve the problems at hand because they are associated with powerful external factor, over which you don't have any control. They are not in your hands. We get worried, we get frustrated, and we think that there is no way to come out of them. We are not able to solve. So, the best way is to put the problem aside for some time and move on with other things that you do. But you shouldn't be escaping from the problem, but we can wait for an appropriate moment to find a solution. Okay, the problem solving is always possible. Then, Important steps for problem solving. Firstly, identify the problem, explore the intensity of the problem, recognize the goals to be reached. Yes, you have to set the goals, right? Then you have to look at the various consequences. Sorry, you have to look at the various options that are available to you. And you have to also think of the consequences that if you try to solve this problem in this way, what is the result that you're going to obtain? Whether it will be good or bad. You have to even think of that. And after analyzing this, you have to select the possible solutions for it. And finally, implement the solution with care. And one thing, very important thing is that don't forget that your parents and elders are always there to support you in difficult situations. So whenever you are trapped in some difficult situation, be free to interact with your parents. Now, the seventh, yes, effective communication skills. It is the ability by which you express your views, either verbally, means like through speaking, or you can be writing it in any language through a letter, application, mail, texting, whatever it is, and non-verbally, which is again very important, through gestures and movements. Because if you just see a person in front of you will be knowing whether he is listening to you, whether it is satisfied with what you say, is happy or sad. You're just able to know by the body language or the gestures that a person is doing, right? So you're listening, but communication is not just about speaking, but it also requires listening skills. That is why it is said that your listening skills are also an important integral part of communication skills. We communicate to have interaction and association, to make someone understand our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and to have control over situations. If we don't talk to others, they will not understand what we are thinking about. Similarly, if we keep blabbering something, it will not make sense. So we have to effectively communicate. So when we talk about effective communication, as I told you, there are three things in an effective communication. One is verbal, then you are talking and the listeners are able to hear you and they're able to be reacting to it. Non-verbal, it is the non-verbal languages that use what meaning to us, what is said, and includes like your tone of voice, your silence, frowning, smiling, body posture, touch, distance. So body language is actually very easy to read, but at the same time, it is also easy to misinterpret. And the third is listening, because during communication, one person talks and the other listens. So the listener must give attention to what is said and without interrupting the speaker and afterwards to relax relevantly. Now, here again, it is a small example. Like Farida and her friends go back from tuition every day late in the evening, and a group of boys tease them as they pass by. So this was turning to be an everyday affair. So one day, Farida confronted those boys calmly and softly, asking them not to trouble them, and also said that if they continue this, she would give complaint to the police. So this was an effective way of how the girl communicated her displeasure in an assertive tone. And yes, when we talk about communication, sometimes we have to face the communication gap because we communicate every minute of our life. We complain that our parents don't understand us. But have you thought why? They don't understand you because you don't tell them what you feel. This in turn creates a communication gap between both of you, leading to not understanding each other. And what are the reasons of communication gap? Lack of proper understanding between the two people, and like when two people are communicating, one of them can be in stress, and it may also happen that one person is superior to the other person. So coming when we're talking about this we can talk about relationship with parents when we're talking about the communication gap. So our first relationship is with our parents, right? So we should know few things to improve communication with them. Be honest with your feelings. Calmly tell your parents what is on your mind without making a fuss or getting disturbed yourself. Listen to what your parents are saying and then put your points across. And if parents disagree about something, don't immediately react and rebel. Just speak up and explain to them why you are disagreeing with them. Yes. Coming to the eighth skill, that is interpersonal relations relationship skill. Interpersonal relationships are social associations, connections, or affiliations between two or more people. It helps you in empathizing with people, which makes your relationship with others responsible and effective. It helps you to understand your existing relationship. It helps to build new relations and maintain them, be it personal or professional one. So most of your relationships, conflicts that you are observing, they are because of not practicing the skill. So how can you make your relationship special? The first one is respect. This does not mean to keep the person in high regard, but to consider the other person worthwhile, even if he is different from you. The second is responsibility, to show that others can rely on you. The third is understanding, to be able to empathize with situations of others. The fourth is cooperation, willingness to work out a relationship and sustain it. And the fifth one is caring, to be concerned and interested in another person's feelings and needs. So now coming to the next one, the ninth skill, that is coping with the emotion skill. Now, this is something which we have been speaking very much about today, about emotional skills, about maintaining emotional balance or the emotional quotient. Now, emotional skills involve recognizing emotions within yourself and also of others. So it is generally related to managing your emotions. Now, being aware of how emotions influence your behavior and being able to respond to emotions appropriately. Because the intense emotions like anger and sadness, they can have negative effect on your health. And we undergo many types of feelings like happiness, sadness, anger, etc. And we need this emotion because if you don't have this emotions, you'll be just like robots. Like so. So we know that there are different types of emotions, and we always try to be happy. So is it possible to be happy always? Yes. Because in our daily life, it is not possible. Every one of us know. And there are instances that when we make experience some kind of sadness or some kind of disappointment. Now, some common examples of disappointment that there might be times where you are not, you don't get invited to go out with a group of friends. You did not get the marks that you had expected in the exam. You may get rejected by someone, you have to go somewhere, but you're not able to go, or something like that. There will be many kind of disappointments that you face in life. So my question to you is, how do you react? Do you cry? Do you blame others, or do something else? What do you do? But whatever it is, just remember that all the unhappy feelings that you are having, they come from your thoughts. So managing your emotions. Now, why should we manage emotions? Firstly, because so that we don't we will not abuse our emotions, you will not hurt others, you will be able to look at the solutions to problems more holistically. For example, your parents may disagree about something that you say. So most of the time, what the children will do that they will start screaming and throwing tantrums. But there is always another way of dealing with emotion and situation, and you need to find the other way. So you do not need to let others' behavior affect you, and we can control our emotions. We should not blame others for our disappointment and unhappiness. So coming to the last one, that is the 10th skill, is coping with stress. So stress drops every now and then. It is nothing but your body's reaction to people and events and our own thoughts. Stress can be like the butterflies in the stomach before a test or some athletic event or before you go for a stage performance. So with this skill, you can recognize the sources of stress in your life. You can be able to know what is affecting you. You can act in the ways that will help you to control your levels of stress. So we should be able to control stress so that your potential and abilities will not be affected and the result is more productive. Yeah, these are some stress signals. Feelings, first one is feelings, which may include like anxiety, irritability, fear, moodiness, and embarrassment. Second is thoughts. self-criticism, difficulty in concentrating or making decisions, forgetfulness, preoccupation with future, and repetitive thoughts about fear or failure. The fourth one is behavior, like difficulty in speaking, crying, acting impulsively, grinding teeth, nervous laughter, increased smoking and alcohol or drug usage, and increased or decreased appetite. And the fourth one is the physical symptoms, which are like some tight muscles, or you may feel very cold or sweaty hands and headache, back or neck problems. So these are all the some physical, the different kind of symptoms which show that actually you are stressed. So this is a very small activity that can be given to the students like this. I mentioned here three blocks, and one it is written snake, another is situation, and third is ladder. So what you can do is now you can tell the students uh, to state a situation where you felt extremely stressful, and whatever the difficulties that you observed, you can note it down in the snake column, and the options for that, the options for solving those difficulties, that can be given in the ladder column. And this small activity can actually help you to analyze on how you will be able to handle the stressful situation. Okay, managing and releasing stress, because we were talking about the stress coping skills. So here, managing and releasing stress is very important. Like you can just take a deep breath. You can be talking to your friend or your parents. You can take a break and think of something like you really enjoy doing. Like you can listen to music, you can go for a movie, you can play some games, or just go for sports, or just go for outing. Just connect with nature sometimes, right? You should, you can look at things around you, but also you have to keep in mind your limits before reacting. Like you should not be back answering your elders. You should not be back answering your peers, right? And one more option that I prefer the most is just sit calmly and meditate for some time, because it always helps. Meditation always helps. So we have in very short, we have just learned about the 10 core life skills. So, but just remember that these 10 core life skills that these stress skills, they do not stand alone and work in best combination with each other, because in most of the situations, we have to use more than life skills together, right? And they work in hand to have good interpersonal relationships, effective communication, and empathy are equally important. So, right kind of skills used in the right place and time is a recipe to prepare a joyful dish for life. So, with this, I come to the end of my presentation. Thank you, everyone, for your patient listening, and enjoy living. Thank you, one and all.